So this is the Sit Down, an experimental show where we have guests come in, sit down, and talk about their experiences, successes, and failures. Join me as we take a closer look into the life of the person who sits next to you. This is the Sit Down. Welcome, everybody. It's Omari, a.k.a. the boy who sits by himself. Today's guest we have, she's been performing on stage and hosting events for some time now. She's one of the biggest personalities that I know, and she's on her way to making it to my top friends list. But yeah, this is the elegant, the vivacious Miss Mama, a.k.a. Yvonne Clark.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Start off. Where you from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Be more. What part?
Don't do that.
What's the area like? What side?
I'm from
South
West
side?
Baltimore.
Oh, West
the
Baltimore.
The best side of Baltimore.
So, what age did you start performing?
Music was my first love.
Okay, so you started with music.
Yes.
Okay.
Music is still my first love, and I think it was elementary school. I performed a song called "Lean on Me" with me and all my homegirls for this assembly.
What kind of assembly was it?
It was like a parents would come to the school, meet the teachers,
Okay.
and just watch their kids and see what they do during the day, like acting and singing and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's hot.
So I started singing, and then I joined my middle school choir, my high school choir, college choir, church choir.
Oh, you did all the choirs.
And I did theater, all that stuff.
What's the high school you went to?
I went to Frederick Douglass High School. Douglass has amazing programs. I was a part of the Cab Calloway music program. And I was inducted into the Triumph Music Society. I was one of 3 out of the whole state. So
State of
I
Maryland.
love the school.
So media, what made you? So you say you performed in churches and you did a bunch of performances, saying and singing. What made you start with the media and everything? Because I heard you had a Radio 1 internship.
Yes, I had a Radio 1 internship last semester.
Talk to me about that. Last semester?
Last summer.
Okay.
My first encounter with media, I always say, in middle school we used to have like school announcements, and me and a friend of mine created a morning announcement show.
Right.
And we were promoting heavy, like we would always have slogans and music, and all it was a tall box in the principal's office. We would press a button and we would just stand there and talk for 20 minutes, and everybody loved it. So that right there was just crazy. Now, as far as hosting parties at my high school, I used to just play around on the microphone. Like, we would have little parties and DJs would come, and I would just be like, oh, let me give a shout out to my homegirl, this, and that. And then about, I want to say 2.5 years ago, I was going home, and my best friend at the time was like, let's go to a party. A good friend of mine has a company back at home. So we went to his party, and when we went in on the stage, it was so many people on stage just screaming on the mic. So I went to him. I actually went to high school with him. So I went to him like, let me get on the mic right quick. Just for 5 minutes. Let me get on. So I got on for 5 minutes. And next thing I know, everybody just was dancing and just loving it. So I was like, I can really do something with this. Right. So
get that personality developed.
Right.
Yeah.
I never even thought second about it. So I went home, and then probably like 2 days later, he sent me a Yahoo message like he wants me to be a part of his company. So I was like,
wow,
okay.
That's big.
Right. So
that's big.
So ever since then, I just been
just off GP, just off general public, just going there, being at the party, following your girl, and you see everybody on the mic. Yo, that's hot. That's crazy. Because I mean, a lot of people, when they try to do these things, like you always hear like one of those hap chance stories, those chances that just happen haphazard. And most people, you know, they try to do that stuff. Like they put in all this energy, but I like those stories that just out of the blue something happens and you just happen to be in the right place at the right time. That's good. That's definitely God.
It is.
That's God.
I always thank him.
Yeah, I know. That's why I mentioned it. Because you mentioned him like 3 times before we started. I was like, okay. Anywho, All right, so where was the internship? Where was it? It was back home, Baltimore.
Okay. It was back home. That was a blessing.
Yeah.
The Radio One, because there were so many issues going on. But by the grace, I was able to get the internship.
Yeah.
And I absolutely enjoyed it.
How many people did you go up against for it? Or was it more like you were just put on because of that one night?
No, see, after I got put on with the company, I was grinding. Like, I'm still grinding, but like I was trying to get a name. And first of all, as a female host, that's something that's like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
so after that night, I just started hosting only for the company that I was a part of, parties. Okay. Then I started networking and hosted for other companies.
Okay.
And Radio One, I'll never forget, K Swift had died. K Swift is a DJ back at home. And we were down the Paradox. Paradox is a legendary club in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. If you're from Baltimore, you've been to the docks at least one time. It don't matter. For what, you went.
That's
so we were down there. I think it was after her last memorial service they had. And it just so happened that all of Radio One was there. So the host at the time for the docks was one of K Swift's best friends. His name is Pork Chop. He's also a radio personality for 92Q. Shout out Pork Chop. And he was breaking down and crying, and it was just so much going on. So me and a friend of mine, another host in Baltimore, his name is Rockstar, we end up hosting for the rest of the night for the Paradox.
Okay.
And someone heard me from Radio One, and we began to converse, and I was letting him know that, I've been looking for radio internships. And he gave me his direct number, and I gave him a phone call and sent him my resume and went in for an interview.
That's his history.
And I got it, yeah.
That's hot, babe. You ever been to New York?
Yes, one time.
And you ever had any luck out there? You ever tried to do anything out there?
No, see, my plan is I started with Radio One in Baltimore. I want to get an internship in D.C. and then move to New York. I'm trying to just move up.
Okay.
I don't want to say like up the road, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, New York is like the mecca of all that, so it's like.
So that way, by the time I get to New York, I will already have a heavy resume.
Yeah, definitely.
And some good sources on there, so that when they receive anything from me, they can say, well, she's had experience.
Right.
So it's no reason why we shouldn't give her a try.
Right. Man. That's hot. So with all that going on, I know here on campus you're a radio host. You have your own show.
Yeah.
What's about that? When does your show come on in?
It comes on every Monday.
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Do that.
On hawkradio.org. Hawk like the bird. Radio.org. 6 p.m. It's entitled What's the Tea? And it's with me.
What's the tea?
What's the tea?
Oh, what's the tea?
Yes.
Okay. What's that mean?
Which means...
yeah. What's that mean?
Everybody always asks, what's the tea means like what's the information? What's the news?
Like,
we bring you the latest.
Okay, so you got the Hawk Radio, you got the show, you're on campus. What else do you do?
On campus?
On campus. I know you be hosting like everything. Everywhere I go, I remember the first time I saw you on stage was I forget what it was, but I remember seeing you and just the way you move. And I'm not a performer, but I'm into acting. I try to be on stage as often as I can. And I remember I saw you. Come on now. Don't do that. But I saw you and I was just like, you know how you could kind of like pick people apart, and you always trying to compare yourself, like if I was up there.
Right.
And what would I be doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just that mindset as a performer being on stage, you always want to try to compare yourself, what you would do different. I saw you, I was like, yo, she moves so naturally, and you were holding it down. Like you said, I could just imagine how that club, like you mentioned earlier, that club when you went on the mic and everybody was loving it. Because like when you get on the mic, like I know from now on, whenever I see you on the mic, I know I'm gonna have a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I guess that's what it's about. And you definitely bring that.
Back to the root of the question. I do a lot on campus. First, I go to class. Because that's the main reason why I'm here.
Of course.
But hosting, I actually I can't even remember the first event I hosted at the school, but I believe it was a fashion show, if I'm not mistaken. I started hosting fashion shows for DMT, which is the Marlon Tribune campus, Human Ecology, and Sigma's Rep Your Hood. I remember one of the most important and unforgettable events I ever hosted on campus was HBCU's Best Dance Crew, where colleges and universities from a close area here, like Bowie and Howard and stuff, came down, and we had just
I
like
remember
you
that.
see it on TV.
I remember that.
And it was a good experience. But I do a lot. I mean, I host as much as I can.
Right.
I still sing, even though I'm not on the choir anymore.
Yeah.
And I just go to school. I mean, I go to class, and
yes.
that's it. I'm busy, but this is what I want to do.
It feels good when you're busy, right? Yeah, definitely. I feel you. So, like you said earlier, your plans for the future, elaborate on that. You want to try to build your resume heavy, and then when you get to New York, they no way they could deny you.
Right.
And when you get to wherever you're trying to go, it's undeniable that
I'm working on that. I'm working on building my faith, so I won't have to worry so much about me worrying about my future. As far as that's concerned, I do plan on getting an internship in DC this summer.
Okay.
And then just keep on moving up.
Right.
Get my degree, find something to do with that. My plans are to get a job before I graduate. That way, when I do graduate, I can start work the next day. Like,
right.
I have no days off. I can't have any days off because my main focus is me trying to make it. And also, my mother, like, I want to give her everything. So I'm always
I dig that.
trying to,
Yeah, no doubt.
get stuff done.
I hear that. I definitely feel you on that. Like for your family. For me, it's like I try to. I want to do that same thing. Like try to get my family everything. I feel like I'm the only one that can make it big. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody feel that way.
That's how
honestly.
it be. You always want to, because parents always say they want you to live better than they did. So it's like, okay, you're going to try to do so you can shower them.
Right.
You know?
That's cool. Man, last but not least, what's the best advice that you ever heard or that you can give?
Learning who your friends are, because who you hang around says who you are, no matter how different you all may be. You know what I mean? If you can tolerate it, then you're a part of it. You know what I mean? The best advice I would give somebody is to keep grinding, no matter what. In this business, in this industry that we work in, there are always going to be people that's going to want to put you down, and those who you may call your friends may be one of your worst enemies. So you always have to be able to distinguish that. You always have to be able to stay on track, stay grounded, stay humble, please.
Yes, God.
Please stay humble, because the worst thing you can do is be cocky, because once you become cocky, you lose all of your supporters, you lose all of your fans. You can lose your family, like that. So I've always been taught to be humble, taught to follow God, taught to remember family first. Right. And God above everything. I'm always going to say his name.
Thank you for joining us. Thanks everybody for checking us out here. And if you want to see more videos, go to UMES homepage and look for the YouTube, Discover UMES YouTube icon, and you guys can check out more videos there. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Thank you.